1 Minute Bible for Starters, a 90-day journey, the first 90 days for new Christians. Oh, I should do this one. I should. Let's see. The Bible gives us heart and hope to make earth like heaven and to make our hearts and homes a habitation for Christ. The Bible sure is a big book, isn't it? And if you try starting logically at page 1 and barreling straight through the end, you're likely to bog down somewhere in Leviticus or Numbers, not quite sure how the cleansing ritual for leprosy is going to factor into your life. So don't do that. Well, I'm adding a few words. Start by reading one of the foundational books of the Bible, like the Gospel of John or Paul's letter to the Romans, or the books of Psalms and Proverbs. That's what I did. I started with Proverbs because I knew I was supposed to read them to be a better dad. Listen to your father, but I had no father to teach me. So if you want to tackle more, you could set off on a journey through the New Testament, starting with Matthew. Read as much as you can, but only as much as you can understand. Not being afraid to read only a verse or two verses a day, as long as you mingle it with prayer, that God will use it to shine His truth into your life. As you read, you'll begin picking up hints of what God's nature is like, plus new understandings of the Bible's overall message. Little by little, but quicker than you think, you'll start developing a mind that thinks like God thinks because you know what God says. It says, next up, still, you're likely to forget a lot of what you read if that's all you do with the scripture. To really let it sink in deep, you've got to lock it away for safekeeping. Get it through your head. How can a young man keep his way pure? By living according to your word. I think that's from the scripture. Everybody thinks that memorizing Bible verses is too hard for them. Too much trouble. But it isn't. I was able to memorize John 3:16. You know, that's the first one. For God so loved the world that He sent His only begotten Son, that whoever believeth in Him shall not perish, but have life everlasting. So if you believe in Jesus, you will not perish. Needing a home. Oh, needed at home. Wives, submit to your husbands as to the Lord. Well, wife won't do that. Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church. In this same way, husbands ought to love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. After all, no one ever hated his own body, but he feeds and cares for it. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with a promise that it may go well with you and that you may enjoy long life on the earth. Fathers, do not exasperate your children. Instead, bring them up in the training and instruction of the Lord. All right, but the problem I have is we don't communicate. We don't talk. So anything I say, she sees the opposite. Even though this room, all right, let me stop it. I'm going to tell you about this room.